morning, good evening, good afternoon. I'm the Gentleman, and welcome to another episode of the Gentleman's Pixel Club. What can you see on the screen now? This is the intro, this is the beginning of PlayStation Ridge Racer when it used to load. You used to have a little demo of one of their other games. And this is Ridge Racer running on the MiSTer FPGA system. I first played this in a pub called The Bridge. You can see that on the screen now. I used to love Outrun, and to walk in there and see a Ridge Racer machine, it was, oh my god, this is absolutely awesome. And I really did have a good time playing this. When this came out on the PlayStation, this was one game that I absolutely loved, and although I'm going to do a demo of the game now, I was nowhere near as proficient now as what I used to be. In fact, I look absolutely appalling now, but it's been a long while since I've played this. This game is running on the MiSTer FPGA, recreated on the PlayStation core, and this is an unstable nightly build of the core. I've previously done a video showing you how to compile the core. That wasn't a long-winded process, but you needed a fairly hefty machine to be able to do this. What I have at the end of this video, because I consider this a preview video, not a review of the game, but showing you what it can do, because I'm just going to play one session of this game, and it will show you how you can actually install this yourself. There are scripts available, I know this, but I think it's a good idea to sometimes manually do these things so that you can understand, you can see how the core works, you can see how it all hangs together. And the core was created by FPGA Sparse. Very confusing name to pronounce and a little bit of a tongue twister. But he's done some brilliant work on this. And I will be linking a link to his Twitter feed on my Twitter feed. And if you pop across to that, have a look. He also has a Patreon, and I recommend that you go and take a look. All these developers, all these coders do all this hard work for absolutely nothing. And this is a way, as a community, that we can give back to them. This is my gameplay at the moment, where I'm just playing the first level, beginner level, spinning the car out of control. I used to be way better than this, but we're having a little go on the core to prove it and show it actually running on the MiSTer FPGA. Unlike the tutorial where I did before, where I never did this because it was quite a long video, this is going to be a brief video. At the end of this video, I will show you my settings as well, and I will talk you through very briefly how this was set up, how it was running, what you needed, and we'll go from there. I will also want to call out a call to Josie BG. Now, he is the gentleman that is responsible again for the nightly builds on this, and if it wasn't for him, you would be compiling this yourself. So thank you very much on behalf of everybody that doesn't have the ability or the resources to be able to compile this. You know, this is a great service that you're doing. And Jose has a lot of scripts for the MiSTer FPGA as well, and he does the update all script, which I think will also do the unstable builds at the moment. He does so much work in the background, and he also has a Patreon. So, you know, he is someone else that's worth following, because if it wasn't for people like Jose, people like FPGA Sparse, I hope I've got the name correct that time and not butchered it, you know, we would have far less to play, far less to do. So if you've got a little bit of spare cash, especially around Christmas, and they have not endorsed this video in any shape or form, do consider passing something across them. And I get no kickback, nothing for this either. I do this purely for the love, purely for the fun, and I really enjoy doing this channel. Anyway, that's enough of me going on about Patreons and everything else like this. This game is a little bit harder to play than what I remember, purely for the fact is there's no sound. And this is going to sound absolutely crazy, but I forgot how much, you know, this game here, the game that I'm playing now, I relied on sound to not hear anything, because the core is still in development, because this is an unstable build, an unstable nightly build that you've got, even though it's looking pretty damn stable to me running. To not hear anything is one of the sensors that have gone, and you get so much feedback during gameplay with the background sounds that when they're suddenly taken away from you, you don't realise what you're missing until it's gone. One thing that I will call out here is we are playing the European version of Ridge Racer. Every game that you get on the unstable nightly builds, every game that you look at installing on these builds, you have to use track 1 from the CD, which is generally the core game anyway, and they do not support music. So the music isn't there, the music isn't available for this. So don't worry if you can't hear anything. This is why I can't hear anything as well. At the moment, the music has not been implemented, but you're watching a lot of the core work already there, and to think that they've already got this game running, it is absolutely top-notch, awesome work. So this is game over, and we're just going to see the rankings here, which obviously I didn't make. It was a very bad playthrough here. Lack of sound, didn't help my ability. And we're going to let this replay fade out very quickly, and I'm going to walk you through the steps I did to get this game running on the MiSTer FPGA. So, bottom of the screen is a URL. Pause the video, take a note from there. This is the URL from JoeZBG where he created the unstable builds for this. You can download them from there. Look at the name. There's actually a date format as well. When you've got that build, you take this build and you put it onto your MiSTer FPGA, and here we're basically Media Fat Console, and it gets dropped straight in there. It will appear on your console menu when it's there. You need a boot ROM to play this. Into Google, put in what you see on the screen there, and when you have downloaded that file, that is the boot ROM, and the only boot ROM that this core currently supports. Drop it into your Games PlayStation folder, and there you can see Ridge Racer that I was using, and rename it to boot.rom. It really is as simple as that. So I quickly want to take you through my settings as well within the MiSTer FPGA, so you can see exactly what I had up on the screen to recreate the experience we had. So this is the main menu that you can see. Scrolling down a little bit, save states were set to on, save state slot was on. So pad mode is digital, divring on, FPS overlay off. Colors I had to set to 16, which were the default. That does toggle to 24. Frame buffer is off. VRAM viewer is off. System type I believe was NTSC as default. I toggled that to PAL for it to work. Fast boot was on and off. That was on as default. Rep time in GPU off. DMA off. Blocks off. CD disable was on. I toggled that to off. And the rest of the screen we're flicking through was essentially all the defaults that were already there. But these are the settings with the game running that I had on the system, so you can see exactly what I used. I like CRT 25%. I think it gives a nice view. But this is how it works. This is how it all hangs together. Anyway, I'm the Gentleman. This is the Gentleman's Pixel Club. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.
Would you like to play again?
Hello there, just me. If you're a subscriber to this channel, thank you very much. If you're not a subscriber, then Merlin here would be delighted if you would consider subscribing. It would make him happy, it would make me happy. And if Merlin's happy, then everybody is happy. Thank you very much. Stay safe, take care, goodbye.